In the harsh winter of 2026, as snow blanketed the streets and the city braced against the cold, a different kind of storm was brewing in Minneapolis. Minneapolis, already known for its vibrant communities and history of activism, suddenly found itself at the heart of a powerful protest movement that would soon ripple across the nation. Operation Metro Surge, the largest immigration enforcement action in U.S. history, brought an unprecedented 3,000 federal agents to the Twin Cities, their presence impossible to ignore. For many residents, the sudden arrival of so many federal agents felt like an invasion, one that threatened not just individuals, but the very sense of community and safety they had built together. People from all walks of life, immigrants, lifelong Minnesotans, students, and families, came together, organizing peaceful marches and candlelight vigils. Their goal was clear: to protect their city's diverse fabric and stand up for their neighbors, regardless of where they came from. Protesters and community monitors used cameras and smartphones to document every move, hoping that their vigilance would ensure accountability and prevent abuses of power. But this peaceful observation soon put them in direct conflict with federal authorities, as tensions mounted between those demanding transparency and those enforcing the law. The city's anxiety grew with each passing day. As the federal presence intensified, what began as a policy dispute quickly transformed into a broader fight for civil rights and the soul of the city itself. Minneapolis wasn't just protesting immigration enforcement. It was defending the fundamental right to assemble, to speak out, and to demand justice in the face of overwhelming force. As news crews arrived and the world watched, the stage was set for a historic confrontation, one that would capture national attention and test the limits of democracy in America. Operation Metro Surge's arrival was felt immediately in Minneapolis. The city, already tense from weeks of unrest, watched as convoys of federal agents rolled in under the cover of dusk. Their presence was unmistakable, marked by the hum of engines and the flash of tactical gear, signaling a new phase in the city's ongoing struggle. Unmarked vehicles and aggressive tactics by federal agents quickly became a daily sight, transforming familiar neighborhoods into zones of uncertainty. Residents reported seeing agents patrolling streets, sometimes stopping people at random, their faces obscured by masks and helmets. The sudden escalation sparked both fear and outrage among locals, who felt their city was under siege. Protesters accused agents of overreach, stopping people without cause and using crowd control weapons on peaceful gatherings. Demonstrators who had marched for justice now found themselves facing a new, heavily armed force. Reports of rubber bullets, flashbangs, and tear gas filled social media, fueling anger and drawing national attention to Minneapolis. The Department of Homeland Security insisted agents acted lawfully, claiming their mission was to restore order. But to many residents, the agents felt less like protectors and more like an occupying force, their presence deepening the divide between the community and law enforcement. The use of pepper spray and tear gas escalated tensions, even when no threat was present. Scenes of chaos unfolded as clouds of chemical agents drifted through city streets, affecting not just protesters, but bystanders and families in their homes. The federal narrative of law and order clashed with residents' experiences of fear and intimidation. Many questioned whether the agents' presence was truly about safety, or if it was meant to send a message of control and power. The agents, meant to enforce immigration law, became symbols of a broader struggle over free speech and safety. Their actions blurred the lines between immigration enforcement and the suppression of dissent, raising concerns about civil liberties. Their actions galvanized local resistance and set the stage for a legal showdown. Community leaders, activists, and residents began organizing, determined to defend their rights and hold authorities accountable. Minneapolis braced for a battle over the very meaning of protest and community safety, as the city's streets became the front lines in a national debate over justice, authority, and the right to be heard. On January 16, 2026, U.S. District Judge Katherine Menendez issued a sweeping injunction against federal agents. The order barred agents from arresting, detaining, or using force against peaceful protesters, journalists, and legal observers. Monitoring federal operations from a safe distance was declared legal. The judge also banned the use of tear gas and pepper spray on nonviolent demonstrators. Traffic stops required clear suspicion of obstruction, not just following an agent's vehicle. This ruling was a landmark, affirming the rights of protesters even during federal operations. Judge Menendez's decision wasn't about halting immigration enforcement, it was about protecting constitutional freedoms. The court's order sent a clear message. The rule of law applies to everyone, including federal agents. For Minneapolis, it was a crucial safeguard in a time of crisis. Tensions exploded in January 2026 after two shootings involving ICE agents. On January 7th, an agent fatally shot Renee Nicole Good, a mother of three monitoring federal activity. Witnesses and officials disputed the government's account, insisting she posed no threat. Her death became a rallying cry, symbolizing the dangers protesters faced. Vigils and memorials swept the city, fueling demands for accountability. A week later, another agent shot and wounded a Venezuelan man during a traffic stop. These incidents intensified public outrage and confirmed fears of excessive force. The shootings became central to legal challenges, highlighting the risks of unchecked federal power. The loss and injury galvanized the community's resolve to seek justice. The debate shifted from policy to the fundamental right to safety in one's own city. The federal crackdown left deep scars on Minneapolis's most vulnerable. Tear gas and pepper spray hospitalized two children, including a 6-month-old infant, shocking the city. Chemical agents drifted into homes, affecting the elderly, children, and those with health conditions. The image of a baby struggling to breathe became a symbol of the operation's indiscriminate harm. The psychological toll was immense. Constant fear, anxiety, and a sense of siege gripped the community. Parents feared for their children's safety. Daily routines became fraught with risk. The emotional and physical costs extended far beyond the front lines of protest. These stories shaped the legal battle, grounding constitutional arguments in real human suffering. The community's resolve to fight for change only grew stronger in the face of such collateral damage. The crisis escalated into a political showdown between Minnesota's leaders and the Trump administration. Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey condemned federal tactics and mobilized the National Guard to protect protesters' rights. Both disputed the federal account of the shootings, standing firmly with their constituents. The White House dismissed the judge's order and launched an investigation into Walz and Frey, seen as political intimidation. The surreal situation state leaders investigated for defending constitutional rights. President Trump maintained support for federal agents, refusing to de-escalate. The standoff exposed deep fractures in American politics over immigration and civil liberties. The legal and constitutional battle in Minnesota became a national test case. The stakes, the balance of power between state and federal government, and the future of protest rights. The court order limiting federal agents was won by 6 protesters who took their fight to court. Represented by the ACLU of Minnesota, they argued that federal tactics violated their First Amendment rights. The lawsuit claimed agents used force and intimidation to silence dissent and discourage protest. Plaintiffs shared stories of being targeted for simply observing or speaking out. Their legal action shifted the battleground from the streets to the courtroom. The goal wasn't money, it was a declaration that their rights mattered. The state and cities also filed lawsuits, but the ACLU case led to the crucial injunction. The courage of these individuals provided the court with the human stories needed to intervene. Their stand restored a measure of safety and balance to Minneapolis. At the heart of Minnesota's conflict is the right to peaceful protest, a cornerstone of American democracy. This right is not just a tradition, but a fundamental guarantee that allows every citizen to raise their voice, regardless of background or belief. It is the thread that weaves together the fabric of our free society, ensuring that no one is left unheard. Protests are a vital way for citizens to demand change and hold leaders accountable. They are a living expression of democracy in action, where people come together to challenge injustice, advocate for reform, and make their hopes and frustrations visible to those in power. The Minneapolis movement reminded the nation why this right must be protected. It showed that when people unite peacefully, their collective voice can spark conversations that reach far beyond city limits, inspiring others to stand up for their rights as well. Peaceful assembly is the safety valve of a free society, allowing frustration to be expressed constructively. It provides a space for dialogue, for communities to come together, share ideas, and work toward solutions without fear of repression. When government responds to dissent with force, it threatens democracy itself. The use of intimidation or violence against peaceful demonstrators undermines the very principles our nation was built upon, and risks silencing voices that need to be heard. Defending protest rights isn't about agreeing with the message, it's about upholding freedom for all. Protecting this right ensures that every person, regardless of their viewpoint, has the opportunity to participate in shaping our society. Judge Menendez's ruling affirmed that government power is not absolute. The courts play a crucial role in safeguarding our freedoms, reminding us that the law must protect the rights of the people, even in times of tension and uncertainty. The story of Minneapolis is a testament to the resilience and impact of peaceful protest. It demonstrates that when communities stand together, they can endure hardship and drive meaningful change, even in the face of adversity. Through organizing, marching, and legal action, the community forced a national conversation. Their efforts brought attention to issues that might otherwise have been ignored, proving that collective action can shape the course of history. In a democracy, the united voice of the people can and should be heard. It is this unity, this shared commitment to justice and freedom, that keeps our democracy strong and ensures that progress is always possible. Judge Menendez's order brought relief, but the future remains uncertain. The injunction is temporary. More legal battles are likely as the federal government prepares to appeal. Operation Metro Surge continues under new restrictions, but trust in law enforcement is badly damaged. Investigations into the shootings are ongoing, with the community demanding accountability. The political conflict between state and federal leaders simmers, with national implications. The DOJ's investigation into Walz and Frey hangs over Minnesota, deepening the crisis. The state's ability to protect its citizens' rights is being tested. Activists remain vigilant, advocating for reform and monitoring federal actions. The winter's events forged a stronger, if scarred, community. Minnesota's path forward will be shaped by legal battles, the quest for justice, and the enduring spirit of its people.